morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being here today. The topic of our presentation is Back to the Future, the 10-year challenge of market research. And the reason why we chose this topic was because, as we all know as researchers, market research has evolved so much leaps and bounds from when we first started with pencil and paper to online to mobile to now VR and AR. And how it was time for market research to evolve going forward. And what we thought was to look back and have a conversation with you guys in terms of where digital was firmly established. This is a report from SMR. It showed 50% of folks were still taking studies online, 24% were still doing the face-to-face, and 13% were doing mobile. In terms of from Borderless Access, what we've done is we've been able to create online communities, emerging them to key differentiators, providing quick access, better ROI, better quality, and better reach to your consumers. In terms of today, there are so many emerging methods that are taking over, from big data to neuromarketing, to VR, to AR, even biometrics for that matter. We have so many options as researchers now. It's just a matter of which channel should we utilize for that specific project we're working on to be the most impactful storyteller. Now let's look at Target as an example. How has Target used sensory data for proximity marketing? So when a Target customer goes into the Target store, and let's say Target identifies that this customer has purchased Johnson & Johnson baby powder in the past, they will then ping that individual in real time with offering them some sort of a discount for that particular product. It's providing an increased accuracy in identifying those individual shopping patterns, right? Also, better product placement, increased loyalty of the customer, and improve customer engagement overall, which is key. A second example is General Motors and how they are utilizing mixed reality within their car dealerships. So let's say you're going into a Chevy dealership and you see the salesperson there, you see the vehicle that you like, but you're not really fond about the color that's in the showroom. Back in the day, we would have to walk the lot to look at the different colors of automobiles that were available to see what was most appealing to us. In this day and age, they are now implementing VR, where they're putting a headset on the customer, showing them different colors of the exterior, different patterns of the interior, and really customizing the experience of the customer themselves to make them feel like they're more a part of something special, right? On the back end, they're creating these self-driving concepts for autonomous driving. So it's all tuned in to what can I do to make the purchase experience more appealing and more inviting to the consumer. Third, wearables and the Internet of Things in healthcare has become a game changer today. From physicians being able to identify and diagnose what ailments their patients are currently dealing with, and in real time being able to have a satisfactory response to that ailment and getting them taken care of and treated accordingly. Again, when you think about operating rooms and surgeons are putting themselves now in virtual environments for organ transplants, for stents in arteries, then going into the operating room and actually practicing that in their process, cutting down the recovery times of the patient, cutting down the procedure time, and ultimately cost efficiencies for the patients and for the nurses as well. So, having said that, I'm going to hand it over to Sayantan, who's going to touch upon some of the methods that we have incorporated at Borderless Access. Sayantan.
Thanks, Jason. Borderless Access has been managing communities for the last 10 years or so. And in doing so, we have seen that the influx of data that we have on our community management platform is huge. The multitude of data and digital touchpoints available to us. So consider this fact. We are one of the top 10,000 websites in the world. Roughly, there are about 2 billion overall websites in the world. 3 million apps, 3 million downloads of our mobile app by our community members. We work across 35 markets, 25 languages, over 1 million social media followers. So all of this does give rise to a huge amount of data and touch points. A few years back, we started wondering how much of our community members or consumers do we actually know about, apart from the obvious demographics. Around the same time, our community members also started becoming more and more vocal about the fact that they wanted to be treated as an individual rather than only as a part of a community or a target segment. So this largely unstructured data that we had available to us, the big question was, how do we structure it? How do we use that data in order to know more about our consumers? And in turn, how do we treat our consumers or community members independently? Through machine learning, we were able to identify behavior patterns. It could include activity patterns, response patterns, device preferences, requirements, etc. We were ourselves surprised that over a period of time, we were able to curate over 40 different digital parameters, digital touch points about our community members. Once we knew about the behavior patterns and we churned the data through our AI-driven predictive analytics model, we were able to create digital personas, personas which were absolutely unique to each consumer. So, of course, you're addressing consumer requirement of being treated individually. And thereafter, these digital personas actually became literally the holy grail of our interactions with our consumers or community members. We did not look back thereafter. Let's see a small example. So, of course, for this community member, we had the knowledge of the obvious demographics. But through this model, we were able to understand the community member with much granular level of details. Once we put all of these through our communities, and we started for the last 2 years, we started dealing our communities and interacting with our communities based only on these digital personas. We did observe that over a period of time, there were multiple benefits or positive impacts. So definitely, consumers were more engaged. The churn was much less. Consumers were feeling that their aspirations were being answered, were being catered to. And the obvious impact was also on cost. So overall, consumers were now ready to take surveys at a lower incentive than earlier because we were actually catering to their other requirements. And since this is a completely automated model, there were hardly any human intervention. So as a result of which, the overall operational costs also came down. And scalable, yes, because it doesn't matter if it's a 4 million community or a 40 million community. The fact that if you have the model and you run it through the community, irrespective of the size and scale, you can arrive at these digital personas. So moving towards 2030 or the next 10 years, when the sheer volume of data around us will be pretty overwhelming. The only possible consolation we have is that we would have achieved a very seamless merger of man and machine by then, probably. And that will pave the next 10 years and how we define marketing and market research. So this ocean of data that we are standing in, where there are so many digital touch points, data sources, and the additional consumer requirement of being treated individually. I say that time and again because that forms a very important perspective of our overall project. How we can correlate these different data sources, this traffic, and these touch points will actually sort of create the connected marketing environment in the next 10 years, where marketeers' requirements will also be addressed, as well as consumers' aspirations will also be addressed. So we leave you with a very futuristic scenario of a connected marketing world, where, for example, say John has had a really bad day at office, a disastrous review meeting with his boss, and is feeling emotionally distressed, and decides to take a walk in the adjacent park, browsing through his own personal emails. Now, will his mobile be able to capture, through facial recognition, this emotional distress that John is in at the moment, and correlate that with historical data from the past 6 months, where under similar circumstances, John has ordered Ben & Jerry's at least 6 times? And then probably correlate that data with John's immediate geolocation and derive the proximity of John from a nearest Ben & Jerry's outlet, which is offering 20% discount, and can motivate John to actually go step into Ben & Jerry's and purchase something. So here you see a cohesion of 3 different parameters. One is the facial tracking part, of course, then the historical data analytics, and finally, the geo-triggered marketing event. So we believe that the 10-year challenge starts now. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, Sayantan. Now, do we have some questions about the 10-year challenge? Some of what you just heard there. And they invested a lot of money in the cube. Yeah, you're fighting for the cube. It's like a bouquet.
I was wondering if you could share with us an example where you've used this data to generate insights that would drive a business.
Sorry, I didn't get the last part.
Yeah, so if you can share... Sorry about that. If you can share us an example where you use your tools and you integrated all of this to generate a digital persona and so on, but can you show us?
Yeah, so the exercise itself resulted in a lot of insights about our customers, right? So we believe that whatever be the form of market research, communities have to be treated with respect, right? Because without communities and consumers, you cannot do research. So the overall project was targeted towards developing the communities, addressing their individual aspirations as well, as much as see what as a business we can do in order to reduce our costs and the responsiveness of the panel.
And then also just to add to what Sayantan said, the 3 examples that I shared were 3 successful studies that we wanted to show you that actually worked utilizing this type of methodology and technology.
Yes,
We
please.
have another. You want to throw it? Awesome.
So my question is, if we need to do something like this, where do we start?
Where we started was, of course, the unstructured data that we had in place. So 10 years worth of interactions. And a lot of our community members actually are with us since the beginning of our communities. So when you have a large unstructured data set that doesn't say much, right? And then you feel the need to know more about it. That is where we started. And of course, we are also driven by consumer aspirations, our community feedback, that they were fed up of being treated like a community or a group rather than individuals, right? So earlier we would send surveys to a group of people, say at 10 a.m. in the morning, because the response rate generally between 10 to 12 was the highest. But that was for the group, not for the individual respondent, right? So after we did this, we were actually able to reduce our overall invites by 50%. Because now we knew that the propensity of this particular respondent to actually answer between 10 to 12 is higher than anybody else. So we would actually send surveys only to that particular respondent. Of course, there are 40 different parameters to consider.
Right, we'll take that last one at the back.
Yeah. Hi, this is Ankit here from Robust Research. So basically, I wanted to check what about the B2B audience? This is all that you spoke about the consumer audience. How did you structure the B2B audience? How did you get them rolling? And what about them the next 10 years?
Well, it has taken us 2 years to do this on the consumer panel, but B2B definitely is something that we are working on. So right now, I can't answer your question, but it is work in progress.
Presumably all people B2B are consumers too.
Yes, but we treat them as separate communities. We do not treat our B2B communities like consumers. So we have a very hard line difference between the two.
That's great. Santan,
Thank you.
Johnny, thanks very much. Thanks. You're the best.